what you were looking to see, what kind of situations you were working through, and how you thought everybody fared.
Yeah, we just kind of worked every situation, kind of third down emphasis, first and second down, red zone. Try to do anything, a lot of things at us. These last 2 practices has been a workload. It's not a typical week where we're trying to figure out the scheme of the defense. So I was kind of winded out there, but I missed all the last week, so I gotta get back right.
You feel like, so even after just a week, like you got to get your wind back out there?
Man, yesterday I felt pretty good, but today kind of ramped up a little bit. But we're kind of low in numbers at the receiver position right now, so we just gotta make it work.
For you, you are such an institutional part of what they're trying to install here. Obviously, you've been asked a million questions about the offense and about Callahan and things like that, but specific to the practices, has he always tried to make the practices harder than the game to get you guys prepared and make game day feel easy?
Yeah, majority of the time. When we first get the starting of the camp, it kind of let us ramp it up. It didn't come out throwing go balls off rip, so it kind of a build up. But now we got the first 2 weeks out of the way. Kind of this week was he just threw things at us. Just different situations, call it periods, unscripted periods. You just gotta know. And once you get tired, it kind of scrambles with your brain. You kind of get mentally frustrated and kind of brain farting through that. So I think that's a good teaching lesson for us to go out there and just trying to just play with whatever's called.
You mentioned the thin numbers at the receiver room right now and kind of make sure, trying to just get everybody to week 1 at this point. Obviously, the preseason finale is on tap, and you guys are expected to play a couple of series depending on how the game situation plays out. Where are you seeing the growth as a unit in the wide receiver room from top to bottom? Because a lot of guys are getting a lot of different reps here, and a bunch of dudes at a logjam feels like your position at the slot trying to make this roster and make an impression in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I think the most important part for guys right now, you got to have it down pat at this point because we're kind of far along now, is just knowing what you're doing. When we call a play, knowing your splits, knowing where to line up, and just knowing your assignment at that point. Once you got that squared away, and just outside of that, just knowing what you got and the hurry up offense. And the hurry up on the ball. We got kind of one-word plays or number of things, how we go about it and line up, and we just got to know what to do. I think once guys know what to do, then they can play free. Kind of get a feel of how the offense is ran, because it's like a timing. It's very much timing on certain plays, But I'm so experienced in this offense, I kind of know exactly how Callie wants to do it, so it's a lot easier for me to kind of help the guys in my position to go out there and do it the right way.
And that level of efficiency, the operation of it, we've listened to Callahan talk a lot, and we've listened to Will talk a lot about footwork's mechanic, timing, and rhythm in the passing game and how all that kind of melds together. And we, of course, know that Will can make throws to any part of the field, but it's about getting the efficiency, about taking the answers to the tests that are the most obvious and not overthinking them when they may seem the most obvious. And
right.
It's there's clearly there's clearly growth from you guys as a unit that way, but it seems like for fans there's the need for microwave results, right? And in reality, it's just going to be a growth process for you guys throughout the course of the season. Training camp's really just the start of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you have some good days, some bad days. Like you said, it's like Will. The only thing about him is, the good thing about him is he got that arm power. He can throw it anywhere he wants on the field. But he got guys on the field where he don't really got to rely on just trying to get a throw down to the receivers. Like you said, the timing is very pivotal, is very precise. Like you said, it's precision. And the good thing with Will is if he don't got that first look to the boundary, he got enough arm strength to get to his third progression backside. If he need to make any throw. So I think that's the plus that we have as a receiver.
Titans wide receiver Tyler Boyd hanging out here with us after, at least for us, the final day of training camp practice, a walkthrough, and then travel before the preseason finale in New Orleans Sunday, 1 p.m. You can hear kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone. So as you've gotten more acclimated, and obviously there's not an acclimation period for you with the offense specifically, but with your teammates, with the city, with all the new surroundings, how much more comfortable are you now than when you first got here?
I'm very comfortable. You
just seem generally to be a comfortable human being. Nothing
right.
really. You seem very unbothered generally.
Yeah. I think the the hardest part for me was just to coming in and just learning the guys, trying to figure out guys and get to know guys. I knew exactly what I needed to expect on the field. I knew how the offense was going to go. I knew what Cali was looking for, and I just knew how to kind of help him scheme and get guys ready. But outside of football, it's kind of a dope city. I've been in Ohio my whole career. It's kind of a small city, not really much going on. Coming here, to Nashville, it's kind of
something always going
it's always
on.
Yeah, man. It's I heard it's the largest growing city in the U.S. and that's huge. Because I just needed a different scenery.
Tyke Tolbert been around the league a long, long time. Like college football fans, NFL football fans, they know the name Tyke Tolbert and the work that he's done with receivers. What can you tell the audience who doesn't get the opportunity to maybe hear from him too often or see the kind of work that he does with you, what the experience has been like under him?
Yeah, I mean, he played this game, so he knows how to get it done. Like he's a great teacher at the game, because it's a few things that some of the receivers might not understand in the offense and how Cali is trying to coach it up. And I just think he does a great job when we get in the individual meetings. He just break it down to the fine grain. He'll critique routes, running off certain coverages. Like he'll pull up old Denver clips for us to show us how to run certain routes the guys feel like they're not as comfortable running. So he'll do a great job of just helping guys defeat coverage and just taking the leverage that you want to take, even though that they're not willing to give it. He's just showing us multiple ways of how to be successful in our routes.
Week one still a little while away, but obviously that's what everybody is waiting in anticipation for. You guys, us, fans, and all that. And Chicago on the road is going to be such a fascinating environment because everybody's undefeated week one. They've been waiting a long time to have quarterback success. Looks like they might have found a guy who's going to be able to elevate them. You guys are coming in with a bit of an underdog story, certainly a gambling underdog and things like that, but with a lot to prove unto yourself. How different is week one from the rest of the NFL season? Because you've played a lot of ball at this point in your career, and I feel like week one is always the wonkiest out of everything that goes down throughout the course of the season.
For sure. I wouldn't judge the season based off the week one, because like you said, I've been playing quite a bit now, and I've been plenty of seasons where I won them and lost them, and some seasons we lost them, we kind of made a run at the end, and some seasons we start off fast and kind of start losing at the end. So I just think it's just going out there week one, just staying disciplined. I think it's more about discipline and sound because every team in the NFL is great. Despite whoever the worst team is, if they got 5 wins or whatnot, 0 wins, every team in this league is good. And every team is capable of beating any team any given Sunday. So I think the most important thing going out in week one is just showing how poised and how conservative we are and how polished, and just how sound, man. We just go out there and play fundamental football, sound football, and out-execute those guys. I think that's a great jump because that's a start where we can get to having so much confidence in one another, because we already have the doubters. Guys don't think and people don't think that we're going to be who we think we're going to be. But we're not going out there to try to prove anybody wrong. We're just trying to show our teammates that we're holding each other accountable and we're willing to do whatever it takes to help this team win.
I like the line from Callahan because we kind of had the same conversation with him yesterday about, you gotta earn the right to have expectations, right? You have to go out there and show that you're somebody who's deserving of expectations before you can actually, have those and work through it. And that's something I'm sure he's been preaching for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, you got to go out there and improve yourself. On paper, I feel like we got one of the top teams in the league. But again, I mean, I've been amongst that as well. It doesn't really matter. It just matters how much we can connect and bond and unify with each other and just being able to sacrifice on certain plays and go do things that maybe you might not feel like you want to do. Like your running backs is going to go in there and put their heads in there for any blitzes to try to throw the ball to receivers and vice versa. When the running backs get the ball, we got to go in there and stick our heads in there and hit any guy that first shows, So it's just complimentary football at that point. And once we get in sync with just the play call and the repetition of it, and I mean, I think we'll get overly confident and just start feeling ourselves and being the team who we say we want to be.
Well, it's going to be so fascinating, Tyler, just because you guys have so many different types of dudes as far as the skill players, the skill sets that the skill guys have. And, there's only one football to go around. That's not something that you're unfamiliar with, right? That's the same case basically in Cincinnati. But the way that this is all going to work, I'm just so curious to see how it's implemented. I know what the Bengals offense looked like. We've all obviously seen a lot of Bengals football for as much as you guys were, in contention and competing for Super Bowls and things like that. But the way that all of this is going to work with Tajay and Tony and you and D-Hop when he gets back and Calvin and all the other depth guys who are going to have roles on this team, Titans fans are really excited about it.
Yeah, man. It kind of reminds me of the Cincy offense. You got guys at every position that can get it done, and multiple guys at that, and all three receivers we have and other guys that's behind us, we are good at certain things better than others, and I think that's what's so good about this scheme of this offense, because it will bring out that trait in that specific player on a specific play. If we need something, I can't get into details about it, but just like, just certain things that we expect the guy to win over, like myself, and he knows for sure that I'm going to get the job done, get it right, and then we got a guy like Red, got a blazer. Like he can run, so he can sell all the deep things. Guys are going to stay heavy on top, and that's just giving us like deep curl routes and just freeing them. It's just so many different ways to get the guys targets and get them open in this offense. Kind of allow you to correlate with every guy and get in sync with what Brian's trying to call up.
Well, because it's incumbent upon you guys to create your own separation, but also this offense feels like it creates those windows for you to operate in, and that's what the best offenses in the NFL do, right? Find ways to put the playmakers in position to succeed beyond what you guys are able to accomplish on your own.
Right. And also just us being so talented with the three receivers we have, I think we just have so much good instinct and feel for the game, like myself especially. I know if it's a certain coverage, and I know if we call this play and Will anticipating the throw to me, he's thinking that I'm going to run some the way he's thinking, but once the post snap come and it's a different coverage, that he'll still feel comfortable with knowing that I'm still going to find the lane and find the opening and know that what coverage they trying to get, so I still believe that he has full confidence in the guys that's out there, and he still will stay on his right read when we call it.
The way that Lucas has been telling everybody that these interviews work is that I ask the boring questions so that he can ask the fun questions. You ready?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry you had to sit through that.
Give me some crappy game show music, can we? Nope, Jackson.
Can't do it without it. So this first question is a hat tip to Ramon Foster, our colleague here at The Zone, former Steelers offensive lineman, because I was talking to him about what we wanted to ask you today, and Ramon was curious about coming from the AFC North, which is probably the most rivalry-ridden division in the NFL, to the AFC South. Is there a matchup, a rivalry you're most looking forward to playing, any animosity, a team that you're looking forward to going up against as you go from all the hatred that is in the NFC North to
Truly
now
hatred.
The AFC South?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because the AFC North is pretty much, I agree, the hardest conference in football. Every week it's a dogfight, and every game is a rivalry. But I think the game I'm anticipating the most in our division is the Houston Texans, because they got a lot of hype behind them. They got a great quarterback. They have a great team as well. They got great stud players. But I feel like if we could get over them guys at least once, twice, that we can kind of take the conference.
I appreciate you so much for the pro move that was covering your mouth in front of the microphone to make sure that you could cough off mic. That was excellent, buddy.
Done this a time or two.
Oh, my God. That makes me so happy.
Been around a minute.
Sneeze or something. It went and go. It went and went.
Well, it's also been a minute since the 2017 season, in which, in the regular season finale, you caught a 49-yard touchdown pass from Andy Dalton that sent the Buffalo Bills to the postseason, ended a long playoff drought, and Andy Dalton became this revered figure in Buffalo.
Cult hero.
After that play. But you were on the receiving end of that touchdown. So what did Tyler Boyd get from Bills fans after that game-winning play that sent them to the postseason?
It was crazy because I got a lot of hype behind it too, but it kind of started with Andy, and then it kind of started shuffling, and it was like, well, what happened with Tyler? He's the one who caught the ball and scored it, so at the time, I was a second-year player. I didn't really have my foundation yet, so me and my mother kind of run this youth little league organization back home, and I kind of started a foundation for that. And they just started donating like they did to Andy's foundation to one I created for the youth kids, and it generated almost almost nearly 100,000, and those kids was able to get new gear, travel for free, because out there in that league it's low poverty, it's a struggle for some of the kids and parents, so I was able to kind of sponsor a whole year with kids, not just where I came from, but the whole organization, so that was pretty dope, and I thank those guys for that. But I think our name's still kind of buzzing as of now, but I appreciate everything they do.
You might get a hero's welcome when you go back in October.
That's true. That's awesome. That's a really cool story.
Bills fans are the best that way.
Yeah, no doubt. So we had you on the show back in May, pretty soon after you signed, and we asked you about the other Tyler Boyd in town that plays for Nashville Soccer Club. Had you gotten a chance to meet yet? Had you crossed paths with Tyler Boyd, the Nashville SC midfielder?
No, I haven't. But I know for sure once the season kick around that I'm going to definitely hit a soccer game. Every year I kind of always go to a soccer game or two, because they always ask if we want to host and come there. So I'm pretty sure I'll run into him at some point.
You ever go in Cincinnati to TQL Stadium? It's a pretty good facility they got over there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. The last game I've been there is when they had Messi come up. It was rocking.
Yeah, man.
And we were winning, and it came down to the last few minutes, and Messi, he's magical. He ended up making it a draw, or I don't know if they ended up winning it, but they came back and either tied it or won it.
I think that might have been the U.S. Open Cup semifinal. They ended up going to penalties, and they had the crazy comeback late. Yeah, electric stuff.
Nashville SC had one game like that against Messi too. That one that had all the hype around
the final. It was the Leagues Cup final.
I mean, he is just unbelievable.
Yeah, he make it work, and the last minute every time, he kicks it on. Like you could watch him. He chilled the whole game. Then at that last quarter,
God mode.
It's different than everybody else.
Get out to Geodis Park. You won't regret it. Okay.
He's the voice of the soccer team, so he's trying to sell you on it. That's what's going on.
The moment you knew, was there a specific moment that you can remember that made you think, okay, this Joe Burrow guy, this is what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah. A specific moment. It's definitely in the 2021 year when we made that Super Bowl run.
Don't remind Titans fans.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah, I kind of caught myself earlier when I said Joe instead of Will, so I apologize for
Brother,
that.
I covered that game. It looked like a bomb hit that stadium afterwards. People were shell-shocked. You guys came in here.
It wasn't a moment. It was so, he was so confident and so consistent every single game. It was like games where it's like every time we get down to we need to score or we gotta do this in a certain possession, he always gets it done. Like he doesn't do nothing unordinary to make him stand out from anybody else, but his precision, his accuracy, and just everything is just sound and just always precise, and it's just always it's perfect. Like he knows what defense is in, post snap, pre snap, and he knows exactly where his reads is. He's just so smart and intelligent and know what the defense trying to do to him, and he just deliver, just pitch and catch. It just feel natural, especially when you just got studs all over the place, and it's hard to kind of double guys when you go to somebody else, So I mean, he's just I can't really pin a specific moment on it. He just does him every week in, week out.
Okay, but is he perfect enough to pull off the haircut? You see?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean. Yeah, it's Joe. He just got that aura around him. He could pull anything off. Like he walk in, you see when Joe come in the facility with a chain on, it's different. Different than if I come in there with a chain or somebody else. Joe. It just, you feel me? Like it's just Joe.
It
man.
must be nice, man.
It's crazy.
It must be nice.
He put the glasses on for the first time. Everybody blowing. I'm like, man, everybody wear them glasses, but everybody don't look at Joe like that. They look at him like a nerdy guy, a guy who's just chill, who just wear button-ups and khakis. He's a guy who he got some swag to him. He just got to open up, and he's starting to do that, and, he's just kind of low-key guy. Yeah.
Well, Levis has talked kind of about that consistency, trying to be more even-keeled, not letting the previous play affect the next. How much of that have you seen from Will as he goes into his second year?
Huge, but it's a little different when the games come around. When we out there practicing, I don't think he let things get to him. He won't make mistakes, things he already know he gonna regret. But he does a great job of just coming back in and watching film and figure out what he did wrong. He see a certain read that he should have just took instead of getting off it so early to try to go backside and end up throwing an interception or just having to scramble or just get off the whole play at all. But he doesn't show any lack of confidence while he's out there and we move on to the next play. Because at the end of the day, it's football. Nobody's perfect. You know, as long as we can control the ball and keep the ball and just don't turn it over, I mean, we'll be fine and he'll figure it out.
Last thing, you stayed home. You stayed in your home state to play your college ball at Pitt. But I believe you took a late visit to the University of Tennessee back in the class of 2013. What happened?
Yes.
Tyler, what happened?
As a UT alum, a broken UT alum, what happened?
Yeah, so they kind of came in late, and I was very, very interested, you know, because I forget the coach who went down.
It would have been Butch Jones at the time.
Butch, yeah, and then the receivers coach was it Norvell? Was it him?
Azani, was it Zach Azani?
It might have been one of them two. But I came down here late because, you know, I had to take my visits late because we ended up going to state championships. But anyway, I came down. I loved it. You know, it was like a real feel of like college environment. Like the facilities was see through. It was just dope. Nothing I really ever experienced. You know, but what kind of held that up was they ended up capturing another 4-star receiver. I think it was North.
Marquez North.
Yeah,
Marquez North.
They ended up getting him. So it just kind of like,
man,
damn. I'm like. And he was kind of a local kid, wasn't he? Or he was closer to that area?
I want to say a North Carolina guy, if I'm not mistaken, which is bordering. Yeah, but a lot of hype around him. He flashed his freshman year, and injuries came about, and it just kind of fizzled. Definitely would have been great to have a Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, if it had me and him.
But you would have had to play for Butch Jones. So
and then I kind of heard. I started hearing things that guy wasn't really feeling them. And I'm like, yeah. And then on top of that, I kind of had I was having a child coming out of my senior year, so that kind of killed me from kind of wanting to go far and move away.
Real life stuff. Could have been a champion of life though, Lucas. Could have been a champion of life. Tyler Boyd, so appreciative that you took some time, boss. Continued health and success, and we'll look forward to seeing what happens not just on Sunday but in week 1.
For surely, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Coming up next, you'll hear from Brian Callahan at the podium. I'm Buck Reising. It's 104.5 The Zone.